Welcome to the hair section of our Julian Opie portraits. And I have a sample here of 4 different types of portrait with hair styles. So each one is slightly different to the next. This one is the closest to our portrait that I'm using at the moment. This one here, you can see that there are lots of divisions, which is why I've chosen this one, because this one divides the tones in the hair up as well as to give depth to the hair as well. These two are slightly different. This one is very much like a lot of portraits that we have in our projects at the moment, and that is because our hair in our styles can all be one color if we want to choose that. However, there is an issue with this in that we have to use the pen tool to create these textures within the hair. You will have to find some texture within your hair if you're going to use one flat color. This one here by Gareth at Tasty Toots is using a custom brush. If I just zoom in here, the difference with this one is that this isn't done with a mouse. The curves are too flowing for them to be done with a mouse. So this is being done with probably a Wacom tablet or actually drawing onto the screen. What we're going to focus on is this, where we are able to create sections of color and tone using the pen tool. If I just move over to this one, which is the one that is most prominent, you can see that this is deliberately drawn with licks of flame here, because this is the style that they want, as well as the shadow on the lines and as well as the detail in the eyes that the usual Julian Opie's portraits don't normally get. They don't normally have the shadows as well as the eyes. So let's go into my part finished, which is here. This is where we're kind of up to, in that we're starting to add this shading to the hair. As Gareth's was using a custom brush, we are going to continue using the pen and start to actually draw in the hair here. If you're adding texture, then you will need to start adding curves out from your hair layer and start to add in these curves and filling them in with the fill and stroke. What I'm going to start doing is using my swatch and my palette as well as my pen. Before we begin and we move to the next section, what we've got to do is select on our hair. And this is absolutely imperative, because what we're going to do is we're going to create a sandwich between our hair styles, our hair tones, and the shape of the hair itself. We're going to have a flat background color to our hair, and you can do this if you want. And then we're going to have both the stroke and the fill together on this layer. And then on the top layer, we're going to sandwich just the stroke, just the outline to the top of our hair. And the reason we're going to do that is because when we come to use our pen tool and we start to colour these shades in, there are going to be some mistakes. And what we want to do is tidy these mistakes up with just a sneaky little cheat by sandwiching the things together. So when we come to our hair, what we're going to do is use V, which is this selection tool here. And we're going to go to V and we're going to select our hair, which is going to be selected here. And then we're simply going to copy that. It's not going to do anything, you're not going to see anything. I'm going to make a new layer and I'm going to call this hair outline, like that. I'm going to pop into there, make sure I'm selected in the hair outline, and then paste it in. With my hair outline here, you can see it's sort of jumped up a little bit. I don't want my fill to be on at all, so I'm going to go and turn this off, and I want my stroke to be black and just double checking that it is black. Make sure we've got black in there. There we go. Done. And then I'm going to go into my layers, and then I'm going to turn it off so that it's not in the way. Now that's going to be my sandwich later on. So just to really quickly turn that on, just show you what's going to happen with my sandwich layer. Move this over, use my arrow keys, and then I use my arrow keys to move it down. And then we're going to sandwich it like that. So all our colors are going to be underneath, and then we're going to sandwich our colors. And this is going to allow for any mistakes that we have that are going to be over the lines. Okay, so now that you understand where we're going, are you going to be making licks of flame? Are you going to be making textures? Are you going to be making some different shades of the same color group? So here Gareth's got dark brown hair and he's got some lighter grayish brown going on. Or do we have, as this girl here, with some flame red and this kind of strawberry blondish color going on, together with this really bright white reflection. So you choose where you're up to, go and make a new layer, call it hair outline, and turn off the fill and just keep the stroke on. Turn it off, and then you're ready for the next bit, which is for us to be aiming towards something that looks very similar to something like this. Okay, right, go ahead and do that. Good luck. I'll see you on the other side.